Ladies and gentlemen, the final episode of the best Netflix original Stranger Things is completely planned out, and we found this out by one of the head writers of the entire show, Ross Duffer. He posted a picture on his Instagram of the whiteboard that says the Chapter 8, the final episode. They teased it all weekend, and it's completely planned out. I would assume this means that the scripts are also done, but this does not mean that the filming has started for Chapter 8 or anything like that. Don't get ahead of yourself. This does not mean that Season 5 is coming out any earlier, but we're going to try to speculate what this means as far as the filming timeline, what I think is going to happen in the final episode, and we got some news from Chrest, who plays Ted Wheeler. A lot of news, honestly, about Season 5, so we're going to speculate on some of those things. Before I get into it, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Let's go for 50 likes on this video, and join my Discord where we talk Stranger Things pretty much every single day. You can find the link to that in the description. Now, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So what do I think is going to happen in the final episode of Stranger Things? Well, if I had to guess, I think it's going to be over 2 hours long. I think the final episode of Stranger Things is literally going to be like a movie in itself. The reason I say this is because they first finished planning out the episode now in April. We are 4 months into filming. I would assume they've been working on this since like the start of the year at a minimum. And clearly it's a huge deal because they have a whole entire whiteboard for the one episode. Now, I don't know if they did this for every single episode, but I would assume they didn't, and they have a whole entire whiteboard for this whole episode. If you don't remember, back in July of 2023, they posted a picture of a whiteboard that planned out the entire season. And now, 8-9 months later, whatever it is, they posted a whiteboard of the whole final episode. So it just shows that I think this final episode is going to be massive. As far as what's going to happen in the episode, that's a whole different story. If I had to guess, I think relatively every main character is going to have a good ending. Even if they die, it's going to be a good death, etc., stuff like that. I also think that it's not in this episode, but the ending of Stranger Things, it's going to be revealed that Vecna wasn't the ultimate villain and Master of Puppets was... And not just an expression for Vecna, like being a master for his puppets, the teenagers that he killed and controlled or whatever, or that are in his mind, but that Vecna is being controlled by an even bigger master, and he's actually one of the puppets. I think that's going to be revealed in the ending of Season 5 of Stranger Things, and I actually have a theory about that I need to write, but yeah, I think that Season 5... the final episode, we're going to see the Thessal Hydra in action. And of course, the Thessal Hydra is the three-headed dragon, aka exactly what Will Byers painted for Mike Wheeler. Obviously, he painted that. I guess that was just in his visions, but he painted that to show Mike, to show his love for Mike, and Mike was just oblivious. But yeah, I think that painting that Will drew is going to come to life in Season 5 for a multitude of reasons, but the main one being just like all of his other drawings literally came to life as well. I wouldn't see why the same thing wouldn't be the case for this painting. But other than that, there's not really much else to say about this picture. I mean, they have the planning done. We don't even know if they actually have the scripts done. Maybe they don't. And we know that the actors aren't going to have the scripts for the final episode until later on in the year. So it's pure speculation at this point. The good news is that the writers know, the producers know exactly how this is going to end. And that's set in stone, so that's good. From here on out, it's just a matter of finishing the product to the best of their ability. So it's really just good for the release of the Season 5, the timeline of the release of Season 5, honestly. So now let's get into the news that Chrest, aka Ted Wheeler, talked about in a recent interview. Trust me, you're going to want to lock in on this because there's a lot of news that pretty much just gives us a lot of information about Season 5, and I'm honestly pretty stoked about it. He said, in Season 5, we're going to notice that there's a lot of cliffhangers like there was in Season 1. So he said it's going to be like really hard to stop watching. Like at the end of Season 5, Episode 1, you're going to want to watch Episode 2 like right away. Like the cliffhangers remind him of Season 1, and of course Season 1 was like this whole thrill, like the first time watching it, you have no idea what's going on, but you're just like, you see the ending and you're like, oh my God, I have to watch the next episode. He said it's a lot like that. So that is just massive news. That is huge. That just showed that I think that's one of the things that the Duffers were talking about when they said they're going back to the roots of season 1. He also mentioned that the first 2 episodes specifically of season 5 will take your breath away, which is awesome. And I would assume the reason he said the first 2 episodes is because that's probably only the scripts he's read so far. That this interview was a month ago. I just came across it like yesterday, but this interview was like a month ago, and he said the first 2 episodes will take your breath away of referring to season 5, which is just like, okay, one of the actors who's been there the entire time is saying that. My hopes are only getting higher for this season. He also mentioned that the entire filming process, to his knowledge, this was a month ago, he said that he thinks it's going to wrap up in November. Or not he thinks, I'm pretty sure he just knows. He said, yeah, filming's supposed to wrap up in November. He said it pretty casually. So we can expect by the end of 2024, all the filming for season 5 will be complete. This was actually the most interesting part about the interview. The interviewer said something about whenever Vecna was talking to Nancy about her entire family, Vecna said every single name of the family members in Nancy's family besides Ted. And whenever the interviewer said this to Joe Chrest, who plays Ted Wheeler, Joe Chrest sort of he smiled, and then he was like, oh, you caught that. And then later, literally 2 minutes later, he was talking about how he can't go into detail about season 5 because he's already read the scripts. He knows exactly what's going to happen. But he did say that the Ted army, the people who like Ted, are going to be pretty satisfied. He thinks they're going to be really satisfied with how Ted Wheeler is involved in season 5. And this goes back to the Duffers saying in an interview as well that the parents in season 5 are going to be more in the loop. They're going to know what's going on. And Joe Chrest actually referred to this as well in the interview. He said, whenever you have something like this, the parents eventually have to know. It's been 4 seasons. They're going to catch on. So he basically alluded to that Ted Wheeler and Karen Wheeler are going to be in the loop about what's going on. They're going to know who Vecna is, all that stuff. So that is massive. And he even talked about how some of the Ted army always DMs him saying this is what you should tell the Duffers to do with your character and everything. So Joe Chrest has 1000% seen the theories about Ted being a conspiracy, behind it all or whatever. He's definitely seen the theories of Ted just being a completely different character than what he actually is, which is pretty funny. I don't think this means that Ted's going to do anything crazy, but it's pretty exciting to see that the parents are probably going to have a bigger role in season 5, and he's already been down in Atlanta to film, so that's huge. Other than that, that's pretty much the entirety of this update, about the final scene. They have it planned out. I don't know if the scripts are ready or not, but I would assume they're at least finishing up the scripts for the final episode, and they won't be filming that until later this year. People have been asking me how many episodes do you think they have filmed. There's really no way to tell at the moment because TV shows tend to film scene to scene, meaning they might film a certain scene in season 1, and then, not season 1. They might film a certain scene in episode 1 of season 5, and then, the next day they're filming a scene from episode 3 of season 5, because sometimes it's easier just to piece things together when you get the big parts out of the way, and then you do all the filler stuff later. I don't really know the reason why. I just completely guessed there, to be honest with you, but I would assume it's just easier to piece together the season when they film sporadically rather than in chronological order. Also, that probably fits the actors' schedules way more because they could film a huge scene and then not have the actor come back for 2 weeks and then come back and continue filming. It probably is a good thing to do to adapt to the actors' schedules because a lot of the Stranger Things actors are simultaneously filming other movies and shows all the time. Not like Millie Bobby Brown, I would assume, but Joe Chrest, he said that he's filmed 4 TV shows at once before. So actors film simultaneously all the time. That's pretty much the update for today though, guys. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know your theories on the final episode planning, what you think it means. If you took anything away from Ross Steffer teasing it, and I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to subscribe. We're on a road to 1,000 subscribers. Also, every single day at 9 a.m., there's a new YouTube short on this channel, whether it's Stranger Things, Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, Wednesday, or other TV shows, there's a new short on this channel every day at 9 a.m. So make sure to be on the lookout for that. And I appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, join my Discord, drop a like, turn on notifications, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.